I'm Stephanie.
And I'm L'Oreal.
And we are Happily Ever Elementary. So we had already started a video with your guys' commonly asked questions for us, and it was just kind of a lot. We didn't want it to be too long of a video. We didn't want to bore anyone. So we decided to kind of break it apart. So this is the part 2 of that first video.
And we're kind of switching between personal questions and teaching questions and anything else you guys asked. So here we go. All right, so we were asked this question a few times, and we would like to do a whole entire video on it one day, but just for those new teachers starting in the near future, we want to give you one tip of advice each for starting. And my tip is just don't take on too much. Find something to focus on and find a teacher buddy, a teacher pal, and work towards things together and focus on one thing at a time, because if you try to be a Pinterest or an Instagram teacher in day one, you're probably not going to be great at everything. You're going to end up failing in some aspect. So focus on what's important. The cutesy stuff will come in time, and just do what's best for kids.
It's a good thing she said that. Every year I've had a different focus. One year it was lesson planning and making sure it was all very detail oriented. The next year was student data. The next year was professional development. So things come in time. But another piece of advice that I would say is that your best resource for learning and becoming the best teacher you can be is your colleagues. If there is any opportunity you have to shadow somebody for a day or to swap prep so that during your prep you can go watch one of your fellow grade level members teach, they're going to be one of your biggest assets, because everyone has a different experience, has a different background, has a different wealth of knowledge, and you have so much to learn from the people around you. I know that's at least true for me. So one of our most frequently asked questions is actually about our husbands. In the last video, we did clarify that we are married, because some people think we are single or maybe dating each other. I don't know. But anyways, we're both married happily, and my husband's name is Jordan. He's my sweetheart, and he works part-time for the city of Henderson and is a full-time student. He's in his last year of his program, and yeah, we'll see what happens after this year. It's going to be really telling for our family.
And my husband's name is Keith. He is my high school sweetheart. We met junior year of high school, and he is a Henderson police officer, and he works in the community we live in, and I'm very proud of the work he does. And putting his life on the line every day is not easy. And both of our husbands work very opposite shifts that we do, so that's probably why you guys don't see a lot of them, and they're somewhat private people, a little bit shy in front of the cameras. So the times that we do get to spend together, we are not taking away from our husbands. It is time where we are both home alone, so we spend with each other working while our husbands are at their jobs. All right, so this was our very first question that came in, and it was actually one that got us really excited because it's a deep question. So how do you respond to people that don't understand your passion to be amazing? And we love this because we've struggled with this. I think a lot of people see our passion to do more and be extra as almost like a showy thing, and it's not. It's definitely a personality type and a quality that we both have. And when it comes to creating an education for children, I don't think that there's ever enough. I don't think there's ever enough drive and passion you could put into the classroom, into your work. So when people don't understand it, it's mostly because that they don't have that. And it's okay. You don't have. There's effective teachers who work there a lot of times, and they are amazing. Those who go above and beyond, you shouldn't let other people who don't understand it bring you down.
No, and what I would say is that it's not just our profession. It's not just our job. It's our hobby. It's our interest. It's our passion. It's something that we think about all day, every day, because it is our full world. Like, it's our interests, it's everything. We don't leave and then like say like, oh, well, my outside passion is, gosh, I can't even think of anything. We literally, in our free time, prefer to sit down and look for ideas. We prefer to be creating things. So I don't know. I think, like she said, it can be interpreted negatively, and that's really unfortunate, because if anything, what we struggle with is feeling like we could always do more. And so the fact that people think we do too much is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
so I don't know. It's to each their own, and it's whatever works for you is what you need to do for you and your students. But this is absolutely what works for us.
Yeah, and don't let other people bring you down.
So this next question actually makes me like laugh, but a little bit sad. I have wanted to be a mom for so long. I don't have any children. L'Oreal had Sweet Hudson
15 months ago.
15, who's keeping track? 15 months ago, Hudson, Sweet Hudson. Hopefully you guys know him. He has been cameoed on our Instagram quite a bit. But my husband and I are in the stage of our life where we are planning on starting our family. And so we are very eager to have a friend for Hudson. It's just hasn't been time yet. I'm 24 years old, so up until now it really hasn't been appropriate for us, we didn't feel, but now we're like gung-ho and ready to have a little family.
And with that being said, I am 2 years older than Stephanie, so I had a little bit of trouble having a baby and conceiving. I have some medical issues that came about, and by the grace of God, I got pregnant, and we are in the process of trying again, and I know it's not going to be easy, but it's just one of those things that we get to kind of experience and try together. So we're really excited about this chapter in our life.
Yeah, so all the prayers, please, because our dream would be to be pregnant together. That would be so fun, we think. So anyways, send baby vibes our way because we're both hoping to expand our families.
All right, so the next question we have is, what is the hardest part of teaching for both? Let me just say point blank, Stephanie and I could attest to this, and I have family of teachers who could attest to this. Teaching is hard. It is not an easy profession. I struggle every day. We struggle every day. And I think we will struggle through our entire career of teaching. And it's hard to pinpoint one thing that's the hardest. It just depends on the day. But I think we actually agree on the same thing when we discuss this. It's time and lack of time. And with that lack of resources, we have high class sizes in our district. And we just don't feel like we have enough time in a day to reach every kid, to give them everything they need, and to teach all the subjects well. And with everything else going on, interruptions in the day and things you don't plan for, I just want more time with my kids, and that's just not an option.
No, plus realistically, like we probably couldn't handle more time. Like it's hard. Every minute is hard, and we're making 1,000, probably more, decisions a day. We teach primary, so our kids really depend on us. There's no moment where they're branching out on their own in kindergarten. I know that, like she said, reaching every student. I have kids that come in reading, and then I have kids that have never seen their name written and know not one letter. So it can be really difficult when you have only like 6 hours, and not even all of that is gen ed time. For us to feel like we are going to be able to reach every student at their level to accommodate their specific needs. And it's really challenging because you want to show growth for every student at every level. So we struggle too. That would probably be our hardest thing. And every year I think it's different, but we learn more and it gets better.
All right, so the next question we have is, we like this one. When do you sleep? You girls are superhuman, and that is very sweet. We actually don't sleep. It's just crazy, you know.
24/7.
We do. I actually sleep more than Stephanie. But we have a lot going on, and we have to just find that balance. I think this year has challenged us the most with opening a new school. I have a child. She's working on having a child. That we have to find that balance. And if you want to do more in your teaching career, like YouTube, Instagram, Teachers Pay Teachers, all the things that we're trying to balance, you just have to make it a priority in your life, and you have to just, the second the school day is over, spend a little time getting organized and try to leave that behind and move on to your other side hustles and focus on those. And there's some weeks we put a lot of attention to it, and there's some weeks it doesn't get a ton of attention.
Absolutely. I just had family in town, and I am doing my master's, and there's times when like everything has to stop just to address your personal life. It just has to. But I will say we're really good at, this is how we kind of find balance. It's not balance in the sense of like we spend 2 hours with our husbands and 4 hours with our kids. It's not that kind of like scheduled balance, but at any given time we try and have like one TPT product we're working on, one YouTube video that's in the works. We had our Etsy store getting orders for a while, and during that time we're also trying to kind of run our social media and come up with creative ideas for you guys and fun content. So at that, like all the while, there's balance in the sense where we can always turn to an hour of our TPT time, or 30 minutes of editing YouTube videos, or we both spend like an hour on Instagram a day, not all at once, but So it's balanced in that sense, and it works for us.
Yeah.
And we don't feel like anything is being put on the back burner too much. We get to everything.
Yeah. And it comes from a place of love. We love all that we do. So if you are not finding that you're loving it, then it's not worth your time, because there are sacrifices we make, health-wise, personal-wise.
Oh my gosh.
We're the last people on our to-do list to take care of ourselves, but it's because we love everything else. So.
And we will say, just because I feel like people wonder about this, our husbands love what we do.
Mm-hmm.
They are so super proud of us and supportive, and they know that we've got big dreams. And yeah, so it works for everyone in our family. So this next question is fun for us. It's, what is our favorite aspect of teaching? And I know we feel very similarly about children, but there's something about being the first impression of a student in kindergarten. Mind you, some of our students have been in preschool, but I know we both take a lot of pride in making our students at such a young age fall in love with learning in school, like wanting to come to school every day. Side note, that's why our classrooms look the way they do. We want our kids, after they come to us and after they've come through our classroom and spent that short year with us, to always want to come back, to be lifelong learners. So I think that's like bottom line, one of my favorite parts of being a teacher is that impact of like, holy crap, like for the rest of their life, they're going to love learning.
Yeah, it's for sure. It's about the kids. I feel like if you're in a teacher for the kids, you're doing it for the right reasons. The summer breaks are nice. The pay is amazing.
Oh my gosh, couldn't get any better.
But it's for the kids. I love kids. I love their innocence. This is a scary world we live in, and it's just getting scarier in time. And I'm raising a kid in this world, and I just don't think that these kids see it. They have the innocence. They believe in the magic of school and learning, and I just want to make that place for them a magical place that I had growing up. And the reasons why I became a teacher were because of those moments that I'll never forget of my elementary experience. So we do prefer the littles because of that. Definitely. But I just think any kid that you are around in a day, you are making a difference. Whether you think you are or not, it is so important that you take that job very seriously.
That's our legacy. So what you're leaving behind, the difference you make, that is what will surpass all of your years. So that's how we treat it every day.
So the next question is a good one. It's a good story. It's how we met. So like we said earlier, I met my husband in high school. When I met him, he had a pretty tight friend group. We were all playing sports, lots of guys in the group, and it was, he doesn't like to be the only girl. So we graduated, and we had a friend who brought Stephanie into the friend group, and Stephanie was still in high school, she's a couple years younger than me, and initially, I was a little territorial, and I was like, no, she can't hang out with us. She's still in high school, and she came out a little strong. Of course, gorgeous. So I was like, okay, this girl's pretty, and she's speaking in a Russian accent, because Stephanie was all theater all the time.
I wasn't Russian all the time, but it definitely made its appearance every now and then. And I was just trying on some characters. Despicable Me had just come out. I was inspired. But anyways, I met my husband, and another friend of L'Oreal's and I's had, who was in theater with me, had been dating a friend in the group, and so she kind of introduced us, and yeah, I ended up hitting it off with everyone in the group, and slowly me and my husband at the time started dating. We got a lot of skepticism because he's an extreme introvert. I am not at all, and yeah, there were bets about how long our relationship would last. They thought our days were absolutely numbered, but as that relationship progressed, so did mine and L'Oreal's. And the things about how we feel about life and family is actually what kind of like sparked our relationship. We both at a young age were super driven and family oriented, like very young, already planning our families, where we live, what we do.
Yeah, we grew up together, so I feel like we grew into who we are together, and we have the same goals. And when we think about our future, it is with each other, and it's pretty much the same.
We're essentially married. We just live like across the street from each other.
We do. That was another question really quick. We do. We live probably, what would you say, 2 miles away?
Less. It's about a mile, and then our school is 1.5 miles from my house.
So like we just don't really leave our little community throughout the week.
Not at all. And
Let's go to Target. We will drive out of our community to go to Target.
Necessary. But yeah, so our friendship started like in high school, well, kind of, and it just progressed as we determined how we wanted our lives to look. So our next question has to do with the makeovers that we do within our school district. And basically people are wondering how we're compensated and how we're hired. So everything has been word of mouth. We've never had to really, besides our Instagram, we don't post that we do these things. We've just had a lot of really kind people speak highly of our work, and then people reach out to us quite often.
When it comes to compensation, it just depends on what work we're doing and what materials we're doing. We pride ourselves that we just don't go to the store and buy a bunch of stuff to decorate. We are creators, so when it comes to when we bring to a school, it's one-of-a-kind things we create. So our hourly for our work and time we do creating is what we charge, and then we just have them reimburse us back for the materials.
Absolutely, and we do talk with the school about their budget. It comes from different places depending on the school. Some people we've had parents in the community sponsor us decorating the schools because they care about the school so much. And then we've also had schools pay out of like a special supply budget to help renovate the school if it's a really old school. So it kind of just depends on where they can get those funds. But we always make sure that it's what is best for the school financially. So some schools we've literally made everything out of their paper supply that the school offers. And other times they want something that's more polished and long-lasting and mature. And that's when we have kind of a higher budget. So it kind of just depends. All right, so hopefully you learned a little bit more about us and about how we view teaching. If you're still wondering anything, please leave a comment down below asking your questions, because we really do love to let you guys in and let you know a little bit more about our process and who we are.
So make sure you subscribe to our channel so you know exactly when those videos are coming up. Make sure your bell notification is on. Give this video a nice thumbs up, and
we hope to see you guys soon.